Hello everyone, welcome to this video. I'm Nudiani Patola, and in this video we would like to present our research entitled Morphology Error Analysis in Students' Daily Activity Tasks. This study focuses on analyzing the morphological errors commonly found in students' daily writing activities. This research was conducted as a part of our morphology final project. I will start with the background of study. Morphology is an important branch of linguistics that studies the structure and formation of words. And in learning English, morphology helps students understand how words change based on grammatical function, such as tense, polarity, and word formation. However, many EVL students still experience difficulties in applying English morphological rules correctly, especially in writing activities. These difficulties can be seen in students' daily activity tasks, where they often make errors such as omitting plural markers, using incorrect verb forms, and forming inappropriate word structures. Because of these problems, this research was conducted to identify the types of morphological errors and the factors causing them. The study has three research questions. The first one is what types of morphological errors are found in students' daily activity tasks. The second one is which error type appears most frequently. And the third and the last one is what factors cause these morphological errors in student writing. In line with these questions, the objectives of this study are to identify and classify morphological errors, determine the dominant type of error, and explain the factors contributing to the errors. Through this research, we hope to provide a better understanding of students' difficulties in English morphology and help improve English writing instruction.
I'm Fitriani with NIM H0124516. Now I will explain the literature review of our research. First, morphology is the study of word formation and morphemes, which are the smallest meaningful units in language. Morphology helps learners understand how words change according to grammatical functions such as tense, plurality, and word formation. There are two main types of morphology. The first is inflectional morphology, which focuses on grammatical change like adding s, ed, or ing. The second is derivational morphology, which change the meaning or words class of a word. For example, by adding prefixes or suffixes such as an, nas, and full. Next, this study also uses the concept of error analysis. Error analysis is a systematic method used to identify, classify, and explain language errors made by learners. Through error analysis, teachers and researchers can better understand students' learning difficulties and improve teaching strategies. In this research, morphology and error analysis are important because they help us identify the types of morphological errors commonly found in students' daily activity tasks. Next, I will explain the methodology of this research. This study used a qualitative descriptive method. The purpose of this method is to identify and describe the morphological errors found in students' writing. The participants of this research were 20 students from the English Education Study Program, specifically from classes A and B of the 2024 batch. For data collection, the students were asked to write a short text about their daily activities. Each student wrote at least 5 sentences, and the texts were submitted through Google Forms. After collecting the data, the researchers analyzed the students' writing and classified the errors into 4 categories: omission, addition, substitution, and misformation. This analysis helped the researchers determine the dominant types of errors and understand the possible factors causing those errors.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Ferdiansyah with NIM H0124517. So in this session we will walk you through some real example of morphological errors that we found in student daily activities text. The first example, a student wrote discussing lesson without the plural marker s on the word lessons. Lesson. The correct form should be discussing lessons. since the noun refers to more than one lesson. This type of error is called omission, meaning a required grammatical element is simply left out. The second example, while watch some movie. The correct form is while watching some movies. Here, the student failed to use the gerund form ing after the conjunction while, and also skipped the plural s on movie. This this falls under misformation. The student used the wrong word form. The third example, if I starving enough. The correct form is if I am starving enough. The auxiliary verb am is missing, which makes the sentence grammatically incorrect. Again, this is an omission error. And the last example, I always singing. The correct form is I always sing, since this sentence is an simple present tense. The ing form is not needed here. Using singing without a be verb is a misformation error. So from this, for example, we can clearly see that the two most recurring problems are leaving out grammatical elements that are supposed to be there and using the wrong word form for a given context. Now we're moving on to the error classifications. After analyzing all the data, we categorize the errors we found based on their type and frequency. Our findings show that omission and misformation are the two most dominant error type in students' daily text. This tells us that students tend to struggle with two key areas. First, remembering to include required grammatical markers such as auxiliary verbs and plural endings. Second, choosing the right word form for a specific grammatical context. Looking at the frequency distribution, plural s or es errors came out on top with the highest percentage. This is actually quite expected because in Indonesian language there is no plural making system equivalent to English, like English s or es, so students naturally tend to skip it. The remaining categories, including gear information, auxiliary or be verb usage, verb pattern mission, and simple present verb form, which appeared at relative even rate.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, my name is Andini and my student ID number is H01245518. Today, I would like to present the discussion and pedagogical recommendations from our research about morphological errors in students' daily activity text. First, I will explain the discussion sections. Based on the analysis, there were several factors causing students' morphological errors in writing daily activity text. The first factor is first language interference. Students often use patterns from their native language when writing in English, so they make grammatical mistakes. The second factor is limited understanding of morphology. Some students still don't fully understand plural forms, verb change, and word formation rules. The third factor is overgeneralizations of grammar rules. For example, students may apply one grammar rule to all situations even when there are exceptions. Another factor is lack of practice in writing. Students who rarely practice English writing tend to make more grammatical errors. Although the students were able to express their ideas, their grammatical accuracy still needs improvement. Next, I will explain the pedagogical recommendations. Based on the findings, lectures should provide contextual grammar exercise to help students understand grammar in real situations. Lectures should also teach plural nouns and irregular verbs more clearly because these errors appear frequently in students' writing. Another recommendation is using peer correction activities. This can help students learn from each other's mistakes. In addition, guided writing tests are important to improve students' writing skills step by step. Lectures also need to reinforce correct verb patterns through continuous practice. Some suggested activities include correcting paragraph errors, rewriting incorrect in sentences, and using grammar games or peer checking activities to make learning more interactive and effective. So, I think that's all from me. Thank you for watching, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Andi Kalzum with NIM H0124515. Finally, I will conclude this research. Based on the findings, students frequently made morphological errors in their daily activity texts. The most common errors were omission and misinformation, especially missing plural markers such as s or es, incorrect verb forms, and inappropriate word formation. The study also found that these errors were mainly caused by first language interference, overgeneralization of grammar rules, and limited understanding of morphology, of English morphology. Therefore, this research suggests that explicit morphology teaching should be integrated into regular writing practice to help students improve their grammatical accuracy. Through this research, we gain valuable experience in analyzing language errors systematically. This study helped us deepen our understanding of morphology and its important role in developing grammar skills for EFL learners. However, during the research process, we also faced some challenges. One of the main difficulties was discussing between morphology errors and syntax errors because both are closely related in sentence construction. Therefore, careful and detailed analysis was needed to classify the errors accurately. That is all for our presentation. Thank you for watching our video. We hope this research and contribute to improving English writing instruction, especially in understanding morphology and grammatical accuracy.